What is it like being Jamaican in Mongolia? Hi, I'm Xavier Murphy, founder of Jamaicans.com. And today in Jamaicans to the World, I talk to Dr. Nicole Barned, a Jamaican who is living in Mongolia. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Hi, Xavier. How are you? I'm doing well.
Good, good, good. So, which part of Jamaica are you from?
I say Kingston. I'm from Kingston, Jamaica.
Okay. All right. So, what school did you go to in Kingston? We're passionate about our high schools.
Oh,
So,
yes.
which is a high school you're representing? And also, as a second part to that, is there a teacher that you remembered that really influenced you at that school?
So I'm a past student of Immaculate Conception High School.
Okay.
And the second part to your question, there wasn't any specific teachers that influenced me. I mean, each teacher that I had interactions with left a lasting impression, but there was none that specifically stand out.
Okay.
I remember Miss Sonia Lee. She was my homeroom teacher for 2 years and also an English teacher. She recently passed away. She was very
Mm,
caring towards us. She was actually one of the teachers that gave me a nickname because there were actually two Nicoles that were in the homeroom. So I was known as Nikki B, and we had another student who was Nicole Hines. So there was no specific
okay.
teacher, but everyone made a lasting impression.
Okay, but Miss Lee is a one that you'll remember because you got the nickname from her partially.
Yes, yes. She was a wonderful lady.
Awesome, awesome. So, how did you get to Mongolia?
Okay, how did I get to Mongolia? So my background is in educational psychology, and after I graduated from University of Georgia, I came back to Jamaica for a year, and then I applied to a job in Thailand. Was there for 4 years. Came back to Jamaica, stayed for another year. While in Jamaica, actually, this job opportunity in Mongolia came up, and I sent in my application, did the interview. They said I got the job, and here I am.
All right. All right. So what were your first thoughts when you saw Mongolia? We'll get to the reality of it, but what were your thoughts when you're like Mongolia?
Ah, so when I first saw Mongolia, I was like, where is it exactly? And then I saw that it borders Russia, and I was like, I know there's a war going on in Russia, and so I was a little bit skeptical about that. But then a friend of mine actually had a friend who lived in Mongolia and worked there for a while, so we got in touch, and they said the place is really nice, it's safe, the people are great. Just take the chance and go. And so I said, okay, I'll take the chance and go. And so I said, yeah. They booked my flight, and I arrived.
Wow, wow. All right. So you took a chance, love and adventure.
Yes, yeah, I am.
um, nice, nice. So, in terms of the people, because you say, they say it's nice, whatever. Tell us a little bit about the people. Typically they say about us as Jamaicans, and I don't mean to stereotype. We wear our feelings right there. We like you or we
Oh
don't
yeah,
like you. You
yes.
know, so you kind of know who we are. What have you kind of observed about the people in Mongolia? Anything that in particular that you found, and you say, okay, yeah, this is how they are.
Oh, well, let's see. So the Mongolians that I've interacted with are very open and accepting of persons from different countries and races. I've not yet experienced a negative interaction with any Mongolian. The one barrier that I do have is the language barrier. Mongolia is a very hard language to learn, although I have attempted to learn it. Probably not as as dedicated as I should be in learning it, but it's very hard to learn. So with that, there is some barrier. But overall, the persons that I have come into contact with have been extremely friendly, very helpful, um, and uh, just good people, good natured people. So yeah.
Okay. All right. Have you come upon any type of custom that is practiced there in Mongolia that you found, maybe really interesting? It could be whether it be from how maybe weddings are done, maybe how you greet someone in business. Maybe it's some a custom that happens based on a holiday or anything like that, that you have encountered.
Well, yes. So during January, they have their New Year celebration, and you typically wear traditional clothes. So we had the opportunity. Well, I had the opportunity to wear the traditional garb, and I was actually invited to one of the Mongolians' home for the festival. Normally, they have all their families there with them. What you end up having to do is you usually bring a gift. Sometimes it's mostly money, and
Hmm.
you greet the eldest person in the household. And there's a special way of greeting them. I can't remember right now, but I had practiced on the day. And then they tend to eat a lot of meat here, so they'll have like an entire sheep that they cook. The thing is that the food here, Jamaicans are known for seasoning, like having a lot of
Right.
flavor in the food. It's kind of different here.
Yeah.
It's not that flavorful, but the food is still very
Mm,
good. Um,
okay.
so you'll have you'll see the lamb, the the lamb that was roasted just there, and then they'll carve it up and you get it. You eat it, and then they have what is called again? It's milk that has been fermented and you normally drink it.
Okay.
Yes, you eat
Okay.
and you drink that. If it's fermented for too long, it kind of has have an alcoholic effect on you. So you just have to be careful how much you consume. But
Oh, alcoholic milk. Interesting.
yeah,
So you touched on where I was going next in terms of food.
mhm,
And you mentioned the roasting of or the cooking of the whole sheep, and
yes.
so forth. So if there is, maybe two foods that you'd say, Xavier, if you visit Mongolia, you have to try these two foods, what would that be?
Okay, so my pronunciation of some of these words might not be very accurate, so bear with me. But one is butts. It's basically a dumpling, and inside you have meat. So it's similar to, I think Chinese also make a specific dumpling that has meat inside. And
Okay.
then there
Is it
is,
sobo or something like that? I think
yeah, I think it's
sobo.
something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Okay.
there is another one that is called hushur. It's a deep fried meat pie. So it's similar to the butts, but the butts is like more of a dumpling. This one is fried, and within it there's meat inside that is also fried. So I'm trying to say it's flat like a bami, but within it there's meat. So that is really good.
Okay.
Hmm.
So I'm gonna continue on food.
Sure.
And when you have that urge for something Jamaican, what are you doing to please that urge?
That's the bad thing. There's no Jamaican restaurant here in Mongolia, and it's hard for you to find Jamaican spices. There's none here. So there is another Jamaican that is here, and if there's anybody traveling back home, then you can ask
Right.
if they can bring back things for you. Um, but you just try
So
to
no
like
curry?
no. Well, there's curry. Yeah, there's curry. So I do try to cook some dishes. It's not. It doesn't have the same flavor as I'll just pour in everything because the thing here is their spices are either in Mongolian or Russian. And so sometimes I can't
Mm,
bother with the translation of Google because Google will translate certain things and it is not making sense. So
okay.
like I see spices, grab them up, and I was like, okay, we're just going to dump some stuff in, season it up, hopefully it comes out great. And yeah, but the fried food, like the one I told you about, it's very hard. Huskor, yeah. Um, that when I bite into it, I just picture myself eating patty.
That's what I was actually thinking it, but I didn't want to compare.
Oh yeah, so that's about it. I just say, oh, this tastes just like patty. I'm eating patty right now. But yes,
so
that's what I
so
typically
I'm
do.
gonna so I'm gonna switch back to people a little bit here.
Mhm,
So when you tell people that you are Jamaican,
mhm.
what is the typical reaction from Mongolians, and what are the type of questions or comments they typically make?
Oh, so once you say Jamaican, they automatically say, "Oh, Usain Bolt." Um, I haven't gotten a lot of Bob Marley. I've gotten a few Bob Marley, but mostly Bolt. And then they'll ask about how big Jamaica is, the population, how large it is. And then they'll sometimes ask about the weather and some of the customs, as if to find out whether or not they're totally different from what is practiced in Mongolia. Um, and
Okay.
the common question sometimes is if Jamaicans' first language is English, because we have
Okay.
patois. So
Right.
yeah, but yeah, Usain
So
Bolt is always a thing. Usain
number
Bolt,
one.
yes,
So you talk about language here. We have the Jamaican language, patois as we
yes,
may call it, Jamaican to some of us. Do they ask you to speak
yeah,
some Jamaican for them?
yes. So they'll ask me to say a few words, but my patois is not the best. So I do a very good, I try to do a very good representation of it. So yeah,
Okay.
I
All right. Is that
give
some?
them easy words, easy ones that they can somewhat understand. I don't go overboard.
It's like my friends tease me sometimes and say, y'all are Kingstonians, so you speak
Yes,
uptown patois. You
yes,
speak uptown patois.
that is it. That is it. So they said that the accent is not there, Nicole. You're Jamaican, but your accent is not there. So
So on the language, you said you're trying to learn Mongolian language. Is there two languages, one language, sorry, and is there do most people speak English?
most people tend to speak Mongolian. That's their first language, and then they're learning English as well. The so I don't know this. So basically, their language is influenced also by Russian.
Okay,
And then, so when they were trying to explain to me the history of the language, they had a specific Mongolian script. When the Russians came and were in control of Mongolia, the language kind of changed towards Russian, like the alphabet letters are mostly similar to Russian. There are some letters I believe they say that are not the same in Russia,
okay,
but are known in Mongolia. So what is happening is like within the schools, a lot of them are trying to teach the students how to recognize and read the Mongolian script again. So they're trying to make that
okay,
forefront.
okay, okay.
But
What,
dialects within the Mongolian language, I'm not aware of that yet. I'm just trying to learn the standard Mongolian. So I'm not sure if they do have dialects within the language.
so staying on the language topic. When you were in Thailand, did you learn? Was there a language and you learned it?
Haha, yes, I did my best to learn Thai. That one is also a very hard language to learn because it's very tonal. And if you're
Ah,
Jamaican, so you know that we are very animated when we're
yes,
speaking. So
yes,
I'll be like saying, "So what was it? Consoy." And consoy, if you say too high, it's a different word you're saying versus saying it low
too
or
low.
just at a steady speed. So I would say it, because I'm happy to see the person. And consoy means beautiful lady or beautiful person. And I'll say it hi, and then they say, no, you're cursing. And I'm like, huh? No, no, I'm just happy to see you. No, no, you need to keep it at this pace. And then so I have to be like, consoy. Like I have to bring myself down. So it was after a while there was like, okay, just stay in English, Nicole. Just keep it in English. So yeah. So
So Mongolian language, if you learn it, would it also help you to understand Russian? or and I guess if Russians do Russians understand Mongolian?
I think so. So it's easier to learn Russian if you learn Mongolian because there's some things that are shared, and I think vice versa as well for
Okay,
Russian to
all
Mongolian.
right. Cost of living, what is it like there? The cost of living.
Cost of living is much cheaper than Jamaica,
Okay.
but you have to be careful how you spend your cash here. So, for instance, if you get paid in Mongolian money, which is known as tugriks, depending on where you're shopping. So, where I live is more of the expensive area. So, you'll end
Mm,
up spending much more. But then, if
mm,
you shop closer to where you have most of the general population living, you
right.
get to actually save more. So, it just
Okay.
depends. Um,
All right.
yeah,
Fruits and fruits. Have you seen any fruits that that grow and you recognize? Maybe a mango here, maybe a plum here, or
right.
something. Any of that?
Yeah, there's banana, there's apples, grapes. The only thing is that they are imported. So
Okay.
when you see them,
Expensive.
right? Um, Mongolians do have they have berries that normally grows in the summertime. They also have superthorn. That's a type of fruit that they use. It's rich with vitamin C. So a lot of times when it's coming close to winter time, you'll have a lot of people drinking superthorn tea or drink or eating the fruit itself. And then there's another one that is purple, but I can't remember what that one is called. So there are some fruits here. Majority of it is imported though.
Okay. Okay. So, have you had a Jamaica moment there in Mongolia? What do I mean by that?
Yes.
So, you're walking, and then all of a sudden you hear a song, and you're like, "Whoa!" Or
Ah,
again, maybe you're walking and there's a TV on and something, or you see some merchandise, or something, and maybe you did not have one, but
right.
have you had one of those there in Mongolia?
Oh yes. So I actually went. When was it? Not last week, but the week before. The Mongolian team. No, not the team. There was a football match, and here they have leagues, just like how you have the Premier League. And one of their teams won. So during their celebration, they actually played Sean Paul song, and I was like, "What? Okay!" And so I was rocking to the beat and everything. So they do. I've heard quite a few places play Sean Paul tunes, like in the
Right,
restaurants. Also,
right.
I did go to a restaurant once, and on the menu they had a drink called Bob Marley drink, and I was like,
Okay.
"What?" So yeah,
Did you
that was.
try it?
No, I didn't try that one, but I'm hoping to go back again to try it.
All right. So, Nicole, if you had a day off
Mhm.
and maybe a holiday off there in Mongolia, what is the thing that you say, man, this is what I love doing here? This is, maybe you said I curl up and read a book, but maybe you say, hey, there's a outdoor place, or maybe there's a city, or there's this, thing that I like to do here. Maybe there's a lake, a beach, or something that you say,
Right.
this is what I love to do here in Mongolia.
Well, one thing I do, I like to travel in Mongolia. So I've been to Gobi Desert, but they call it Little Gobi because the Gobi Desert is really, really far away from Ulaanbaatar, and that's where I currently live. So I have taken the night train once before to go to Little Gobi, and you get to see the sand, you get to see all of the historical places because they are, if I'm correct, the religion here is Buddhism or shamanism. Buddha, yes. And so they have a lot of places that if you're Buddhist then you visit, and there are a lot of those places in the Gobi Desert. So that's one place that I enjoyed going. We're now in summer break, so the mountains are here to the north, closer to Russia. I think it's called Hufskul. They actually have a beautiful lake there, so I'm hoping to probably go visit there before school
Okay.
starts back. But yeah, there are a lot of
Okay.
beautiful places to visit here.
So give me now. This is Xavier coming or another Jamaican coming there. Give me one spot that you say, Xavier, if you visit, I recommend going here, or it may be an event, a celebration that is everyone kind of commemorates that day. Could be an event, and it says, Xavier, if you come this time of the year to make sure you experience this particular event. And if you have both, that's fine too.
Okay. Well, yes, I definitely think you should visit the Gobi Desert. And I do want to go to see the larger part of the Gobi Desert. But Gobi Desert is definitely one place to go visit. If you do come around this time because they actually started their Nadan festival. There are two major holidays here in Mongolia. The Nadan festival tends to have a lot of sporting events. So there is archery, there's horse racing, there's wrestling, and it lasts for I think 3 days. So I believe it started either today, it starts today or tomorrow. Um, and you can get to see, because Mongolia is a very big wrestling country. Um, so you get to experience their true culture. So yeah, definitely
Okay.
come during this time. And then, as I said before, it's summertime, so you can actually go and explore Hoof School, which has a beautiful lake. You can even visit with persons who nomadic communities that live in gear camps.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
that's also on my bucket list to do as well. So yes, because I've heard a lot, so I'm telling you guys also.
Awesome, awesome. So, Nicole, thank you for sharing a lot of your experience there in Mongolia and giving us some tips on food and travel
You're
and so
welcome.
on. So,
Very welcome.
I have a scenario for you.
Sure.
You travel from Mongolia, which I can imagine maybe you're stopping in London, I think, or maybe it's is it New York? I'm being curious here before I ask the question.
Sure. So when I was coming, we went from Jamaica to the US, where I think it was New York, and then we went to Korea, and then to Mongolia.
Okay,
A lot of
so
flights.
that was one. So that's three stops
Yes.
on your way back. All right. So let me finish the scenario. You're
Sure.
you're you're headed back to Jamaica,
Yes.
and you get out of the airport. You land after that long flight.
Yes.
What is that first thing that you're doing when you get out the airport? Whether it be for some people, it's I'm jumping in the water. For some people, I'm going to this place to get some fish. For some people, I'm going to go get a patty. For some people, I'm going to get KFC. For some
Right.
people, it is, so what is that first thing you're doing once you land?
Okay. So the first thing I'm doing, I'm going straight home to have some of my mother's cooking. She's an excellent
uh,
cook and she knows exactly how to make my food. And more than likely, she's going to give me everything that I've been craving for. So she might have prepared already some oxtail or red pea soup or something. So, yeah, mom's house first.
so which one is your favorite? Tell us what you really tell mommy. You said, Mommy, I'm on my way. Cook this. What is it that you're asking her to cook?
Red pea soup with pigtail inside. Yep, that's it. That's it.
that's what that's one of my favorites. I'm a stew peas guy,
See,
so that
there you go. I know great minds think alike, Great minds like the same things.
exactly. So here is how I typically end, Nicole.
Okay.
You're learning Mongolian.
Hmm.
How do Mongolians say goodbye in the most informal way? We'll say, little more, ketchup on the strong
Hmm.
later, something to that extent. Very, that's our informal way. How do Mongolians say goodbye?
Baikla.
Informally. Sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I only know the formal way, which is baitla.
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 Yes.
Nicole, thanks again.
You're welcome.
Baitla.
Baitla.
Did I say it right, or did my
Yes.
tone was my tone?
No, I think you said it correctly.
Okay.
Yes.
Baitla.
Baitla.
Show some love now. Hit that like button, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell. That way you don't miss a video.